The electronic music from South America, I think it's not a trend. I think it's always been there. I'm too strong for a Latino party. Like a techno party, I'm like too Latina because you're gonna have to take helicopter. It's like
which is the best signature move of all time. So your name has an interesting backstory, right?
exactly.
It's the national bird of Cuba.
Exactly, that's true. It's not nothing related to Studio Ghibli because people think it's like relationship with Totoro, but it's not. It's Toccororo. It's another thing.
Oh, they think it's like
They think that always like that, but it's like no. But I'm a fan, but it's not like that. But yeah, it's because it's a like it's my roots. I'm half Cuban, half Spanish, and actually it was like idea for my mom, like have Toccororo as my DJ name, so it was cute.
Also, the name that your mom proposed, was it for your DJ name or wasn't it for like a blog or
Yeah,
something?
it was for a blog, yeah. My teachers were like, you should start a blog, just train a little bit to write. I didn't like to do it, but I feel like I have to do it.
Okay.
And my mom was like, how do you call Toccororo? I was like, you are Cuban. Toccororo is the national pet of Cuba. Be real. I was like, oh mom, okay, I'm gonna do it. And I put the double C because the original name is with one C. And my real name is Claudia, so I keep it like that. Of course, that blog didn't last. Like I only like wrote like 3 posts, and I was like, okay, this is not my thing. I don't like it. But I was like more music and fashion at the beginning.
Okay.
Like everything that also they fit each other, those worlds. But I realized that I thought that fashion was my first love, and actually it never was. It was more music. Like I used to be a dancer back in the days, and I've been cutting like 8 all my life, like 5, 6, 7, 8. Like by my beat matching, I didn't know it was when I was young.
Yeah.
Like unconsciously until I turned 23 that I started like touching for the first time a controller. So
When you started playing, was it always clear to you that you would kind of incorporate dance and
no,
performance?
I never was. I was like more on trance. Like when I was playing was a concession dancing, and then it became a thing. And then it became like a bigger thing. And then when I'm not in that mood, they come to the shows like, are you gonna vogue? Are you gonna have to take helicopters? Like maybe like if I have like a special connection with that track is when I lose myself on the text. Even forgetting that I have to still playing and I go like crazy. It's like, oh wait, I have to go back on work because I'm playing live. Like, so it's like that.
And I know there's been a huge kind of rise in popularity of performing DJs, but I know many of them are criticized and people say, oh, you should focus on the music or the
Yeah, you know.
Do you get that? Like, do people like or are?
I just don't give a fuck right now. I'm actually I think I'm not doing nothing wrong. I understand, and also it's more like not performative. I'm gonna say like women or no normative kind of artists that are more like outspoken at the booth, that they go like more crazy. It's like why you want to humble us? What are you afraid of? Like maybe things are changing. There's many like now like the last years there's like a new profiles of artists and actually great and it's fine, and I think there's a space for everybody.
Yeah.
Like if you want to see the more traditional stuff, like you can see that. I don't think it's worse and better than me. They like criticize. I invite you to the show. Like come and
Come see me.
and come and let me see if you can stay 1 minute like without dancing at my show. If I see you dancing, we'll have a talk after.
Something that comes to mind when I think about you and your music and just kind of the scene that you're a part of, which is exploding and so exciting, is this concept of like Latin club music or Latincore music. And in discourse, people are kind of like, why are you, this isn't a trend, this music has been around for forever.
I mean, I don't know if it's going to be so controversial what I'm going to say, but it's electronic music. It's like techno music too. Like the difference is made in South America. That's my answer. Like, of course, we have like a huge influence of traditional music of every single country. Like, you can see like Guarata have influence from Colombia kind of backgrounds, also with raptor house in Venezuela. If you go to Tangatuki, to like funk Brasileiro, but then there's this new trends. Like, I think like it's trendy because it's really fresh for the first world, I have to say, but it's still been like a really hard music that you can play in every single club. Why we have to, like separate? I think it has to be in the same level. I don't know. I don't know why we are in this kind of era of putting like I don't know
Labels.
exactly. Like, you're gonna be here. I know, like, and actually, like, every time I play like a Latino party, I'm too strong for a Latino party, like a full Latincore party. And then when I come to a techno party, I'm like too Latina because you can hear like a Spanish sample on over a acid techno beat, and it's like, oh, this is not too like this is more complicated. So it's like I navigate between two worlds. I feel like Selena Quintanilla. Selena Quintanilla was too American for the Mexicans because she wasn't a Mexican, and too Mexican for the Americans because she was singing in Spanish, and actually she was American. So I feel like that. I grew up between Spain and Cuba, but I grew up in the European culture, but in a Latino house. So you can see that when I'm playing. Like, of course, I can play like a Peruvian flute over a heartbeat and over a trance version of Parvada of Björk. I can do that because I grew up with that.
That's how your brain is.
Yeah, that's
Actually,
how it
that's
works.
what's going on up
That's
there.
where my brain works. Like that's my dreams. Like.
And is it nice to have like visibility for that sound, but also is it limiting to be like, I'm not just
No,
Latin
no, I
club?
know, no, no. It's like I'm glad that you mentioned like it's important to put a spotlight on that. Big lineups on festivals that are like being more open to different sounds, different profiles of people. But my opinion right now is like in the industry, like those positions of power who choose all these artists to be part of a lineup, they have to be those artists or those people from the scene on those positions of power to, grow much the industry. So I think it's good to have like a festival like Radical Sense of South America, like it's perfect, and that is happening in a place like Berlin. That Berlin is like the center of, electronic music in Europe, like lately in the last decades. But I think right now it's like the Latin core trend that everybody talks about raptor house or some genres from the guaracha or all these some genres from the electronic music from South America. I think it's not a trend. I think it's always been there, and also it's gonna last more. Like raptor house was a music that was made 30 years ago, and right now it's popping, and I think it's gonna pop more. But why is popping? Because it sounds futuristic for our time. So I think it's not a trend. It's gonna stay. And,
Which is also so cool. Like, shout out to Raptor House.
No, shout out to DJ Baba. I mean, like, yeah. And also, it's like the new generations that are coming that, I mean, every day I'm having like many emails of really, 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 but I want to say really young, I say like under like adult age, like teens from South America doing crazy things like trance edits with some traditional music from Venezuela. Well, it's like, oh my God, like the next generation is gonna be hard.
I mean, I know also just from DJs in Europe that their tours in South America are some of the biggest tours that they do because the fans of electronic music are
the
so
fandoms are
intense. It's like that's kind of becoming one of the new hubs of like electronic ingenuity.
Sure, there's not budget and there's no way to do it like in Europe. Like we're talking about South America, it's another world, baby. Like they can have like a A-list artist like like Taylor Swift can come, but maybe like David Guetta can come, like Peggy Goo can come, but maybe someone for my scene like doing there is something that they can imagine. And when they see like more people like from other scenes coming to South America, it's like, oh my God, because maybe you're gonna see this once.
Yeah, and you're, wow.
It's like,
that makes sense. Like it's just rare.
because it's too difficult. Like you don't go to South America to make money on a tour. You go for the experience. And actually, it's one of the best experiences like you can have. I always recommend if you can go to tour in South America, do it. Brazilian crowd is crazy. It's another thing. Like
just
it's
fandom in general.
and also the scene in Brazil in São Paulo is amazing. Like Mamba Negra, like
it's
like
the best.
it's,
Yeah.
like Slim Soledad, all the girls there, like Cachu, like Alada, like it's so good.
Every episode we break for a game.
Okay.
And the game I want to play with you is overrated or underrated.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just gonna list some things and you can tell me if you think they're overrated or underrated. What are the Spanish versions of those?
Sobrevalorado, infravalorado.
You can say it in Spanish if you want. Number 1 is Bad Bunny.
Oh fuck, this is so. I mean, old Bad Bunny underrated, right nowadays Bad Bunny overrated.
Very good answer. Hard techno.
Ooh. No, I mean the thing is like nowadays everybody's like playing hard techno, so I'm gonna say to be mean, overrated, but it's because just to be like spicy.
Yeah,
But it's not underrated. I love hard techno. Come on, like.
Agree.
I mean, fans of hard techno overrated.
Hooking up with DJs.
Oh, overrated, baby. Like, no, don't do that. So, I mean, no, overrated.
Okay.
Overrated.
Hooking up with celebs in general.
Yeah, everybody that is in the entertainment world, don't do that.
Okay. No.
Just keep a doctor, girl, a lawyer, like.
Find yourself a nice person down the street, a school teacher. Parties in Madrid.
There's some that are really underrated and overrated. I'm gonna say both.
Okay. What's the most underrated?
I'm gonna say fiesta for my friend Balman.
If you were to play a song at this after hour, this fantastic after hour, this wild party that we're having, right now, what would you play?
I was listening to Aquamarine by Addison.
Okay, no.
But on the way here, but an edit that I found that was more like moody.
Wait, didn't she just do something with Arca?
She played, the remix. I can play that. Well,
yeah,
okay,
the Arca
Marine.
remix of Addison Rae. Very, very, very good answer.
We can play Arca Marine.
Okay, perfect. Where's the speaker cord? Let's blast it.